Animo, very elegant late. It's State of Rest at the 100. Animo wearing it down. State of Rest just in front of Animo. State of Rest holding on. State of Rest, I think, has just won for the Emerald Isle from Animo.
Welcome to Bet Doctor, behind the curtain look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host, Scoot. A big Derby Day edition here. DK.
Yeah, we're up and about today, Scoot.
Man on fire. You would be. You would be up and about. We've had a couple of new DK out wide subs and 3 from 3 since they've joined. They're all over you on Twitter.
Back fired up. I was had my tail a little bit between my legs last week, but we're back 3 from 3 and a bit of luck.
Fresh haircut.
Fresh haircut,
Jeez,
trim.
You look fresh. You
and
look
the
ready.
biggest thing, you'll know, it won't mean much to you, Nico, but yesterday, for the first time in 3 months, both kids were out of the house back at school.
Oh.
And it was just like, I'd been Frank Costanza for 3 months. Serenity now, please. Any danger? And yesterday I was old mate from the castle. How's the Serenity? It was just beautiful. So parents who are listening, they'll definitely understand what I'm talking about there. But and then we had the beautiful weather yesterday. We had the Derby Day fields released. I mean, it's just great. Are you pumped up, Scoot?
You got a horn.
Got a horn. So we're going all right. And Witchy Proof said we'll get to that Mortlake Sunday. We've got a live one. Hopefully we've got a live one going at Warrnambool today for the subs. So look out.
I tell you what, and you'd be horned up for Melbourne Cup Day. The wide meetings on Melbourne Cup Day.
Of which there's only one now because of COVID. So we're only back to Echuca.
No.
And Echuca, I remember one of my earliest memories as a kid, because I used to go around with Dad to all the country races, and we used to go to Echuca on Melbourne Cup Day. You might have had a runner or something. And I remember this huge crowd around the TVs and watching Kiwi storm home from last in 1983, that was, coming from last. He was out of the screen, so that was one of my earliest memories as a kid of the racing.
My birth year.
83?
Yeah,
there you
it's
go.
popped out. I would have been alive, breathing, but I wouldn't have been doing much, blowing bubbles.
There you go. Echuca. So they'll all be back all next year, all those meetings, but we've only got the one.
Nico, you would have been a figment of your old man's imagination, 1983, I would have thought.
I imagine.
How are you going?
Very similar sort of upbringing. I remember watching a lot of like Derby Day going to Mortlake.
Well, you just told us about Mortlake, didn't you?
I remember watching Snitzeland win the Coolmore at Mortlake, sitting in like the secretary's office or something like that on the Tab TV. Yeah. Johnny Allen rode a horse for my old man, Whiskey Cruff, in a 1,200 metre 58. Got it beat. 10 years later,
he's winning the Cox Plate.
I reckon it was his only ride for the day.
Jumps jockey from the island. Yeah, we'll throw you a bone.
Pretty much. It was,
what a great game.
Because he was with Weary. Weary was pretty much ringing blokes just to put him on.
Well, yeah.
Because he couldn't get a ride anywhere. And now look where he's come. What an outstanding win that was by State of Rest, the protest. It's kind of forgotten about very easily now. It's Derby Day.
What a big win. It was just, I mean, how good is our game? It was so, I wasn't even invested. I think you were on MR, whatever. I wasn't invested, but I was tense. I was pacing around the room. What are the stewards going to do? Because you just knew how much was on the line. And it was great.
I was on both, so I was pretty calm.
Good.
You read it like an absolute book. Your Manning Yard Mail was sensational.
How good was that when they both come away at the 100 and you're on both?
You're on both. Easy
just doesn't matter which one of you wins.
Exactly.
I needed Animo for the better result, and I'm surprised. I think they could have upheld it. Maybe if it wasn't international, they may have turned it over. But I went digging just quickly, and about all the high-profile protests, and I realised I've been on the wrong end of so many of them. Magic Jet versus Churchill Downs, wrong side, Scoot. I was on Magic Jet. Here's Remarkable in Perth. Got me. Tavaci Palantino.
That was interference at the 800 or something. That one was, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then No Looking Back Dryfantine, wrong side again. And then I've got Skittle again on Animo. I'm sure there's many guys out there like me that have probably lined up on all those same horses, but
gone the other way.
It's crazy. It's just like photos. They can just go the wrong way.
And there was some chatter about our mate, your mate, about the strength of the Cox Plate. Didn't he say, Matt Stewart, that it was B grade line? I mean, I saw Dan O'Sullivan put the ratings out. The race rated fine, same as Sir Dragonet. The thing was, Johnny Allen took that gap. He said, geez, the horse sprinted. I took it, and it really sprinted. And then I looked, he said, I couldn't believe something went with me. That's how well that horse sprinted, and that's how good Animo is.
Yeah.
So there's no worries about the strength of that race to me.
Yeah, it's funny. I watched it closely, obviously. I was invested, and everyone watched it a million times, but he sort of shied initially, Animo, when he first shifted in and missed him, and then he's got him another time, and then he's ended up two to three horses closer in. So I thought it was really stiff, and I thought, is it a nose the margin has to be for that to be overturned?
Well, I think the Racing.com put out a poll and it was like 50-50. I think the stewards are probably I think it has to be blatant that horse should have won.
Yeah, and it has to be interference.
Yeah.
Well, it did.
They brushed. It was hardly a bump. It was a brush.
I think everyone's pretty split, and given that, I think you just let what unfolded happen out on the track.
First past the post has to mean something as well. It has to be in your favour if you are first past the post, to be overturned.
He only had 80 metres.
It's got to be definitive.
80 metres to ping up. It was 50-50 and I wasn't that
I would hate to see
dirty,
that
even though I had a
for
bad
future
day.
protests of any kind in the bush or anything. If they upheld a protest on that minor interference, I would have had worries going forward because every time you're in a protest, it could be off here any time. So, I mean, there was one again Sunday, but Zach Spain and the sale, the thing in the maiden dangers or whatever it was, come crashing out. But the thing in front of him sort of shifted out and it's half played in his favour. But you could see down there we go. Sunday's another protest. But anyway, Bendigo Cup, Scurdy, did you play there?
Oh, yeah, I backed Wheatwood and I thought Smoking Romans was a good lay. I liked it, Ahmad, but I thought it would be slowly away again. So I read the race really well. But I'm surprised Nico's so up and about. I thought he'd come in here steaming because it seems like Racing.com and MRC have taken a couple of big leaps forward to get the vision of the yard. And then yesterday they played the national anthem.
What was Juppy sooking about? What was he going on there, Juppy? He blew up about the national anthem.
But then you can't see any of the horses' parades.
They weren't even in the parade. It was pre-recorded.
No,
they had the mounting yard behind it.
When they sort of threw to it, JT, the horses were behind him on the screen. So they were in the yard and then they pre-recorded the thing. Like, we've heard the national anthem 500 million times. Like, I don't know why we sort of have to chuck that into the coverage, but anyway.
I thought
it's Racing.com, it's a racing channel.
And then you see 3 horses in the yard without riders. Like, once the riders go on, they're completely irrelevant to how they sort of paraded because they just change so much. You can't tell how they walk and all those kind of things. So, no, it wasn't their best day, Racing.com. Hopefully they can bounce back for Cup Week for the punters. But their Group 1 stuff's been good, but Bendigo can be a track where they just can get it completely wrong. So I was fired up yesterday and I was nearly DK-esque in the house, just blowing up. But I'm calmed down now.
Blowing up the Lux.
Done the form for Flemington and we just need to find some winners.
Speaking of blowing up the Lux.
What's happening?
There was a new benchmark set on Sunday night by our golfing mate, the Big Daddy. So he definitely must have had a losing day here. So for people listening across, there's a radio show on Sunday nights on RSN. It's been on for 47 years. The same father, Gerard Dowling. People ring up and it's just, it's a bit of a break from their wall-to-wall racing and things like that. So it's on Sunday. Well, anyway, so Big Daddy comes on 10 o'clock Sunday night on Twitter. What's going on here? Listen, his family counts like crap. You haven't got guys. I said, Big Daddy, please, with respect for fathers, like he's had a losing day and then he's found father Gerard to sink the boots into. Like, fair dinkum, Big Daddy. Have a good hard look at yourself. Come on.
Our golfing expert, Adam Fraser there, Big Daddy. So, yeah, I actually had a bit of a chuckle at that. I liked his tweet because I thought it was absolutely hilarious. I read it exactly.
I had to read it twice. I said, what's he sinking the boots into father Gerard? Oh, God.
Oh, God. It's going to be a great show today. We've got Muggs. Morley was a bit stiff last time. Gravine. I tell you what, Mug can find a shortener, and I think he's going to load up in the last race. So he's a bit of a
race Mug.
Yeah, he's a get-out stakes man. He loves it, doesn't he? We're going to
go to the pub this week, isn't he? Isn't he invite all the buddies, the Mug
Army,
the Mug Army to come and meet him for a drink?
Yeah, he's announced which pub, and so check out Mug Punter on Twitter.
It's a juggernaut, the Mug. Yeah. What have we done?
He's just going to take over the world, I think. But we've got Golden Eagle preview with the assaulter from Malta, Jason AZZOPARDI, Derby Day. Casey McCutcheon, Mint Bet's going to come back, and Nico's going to have a look at a couple of races. We'll have a look at all the big ones there. But first, we've got Casey on the line now. Welcome to the show, Case.
Bet Doctors, hello boys, how are we? It's Derby week. What's going on?
Mate, we're pumped up.
We're up and about in here, buddy.
Everyone's on fire. DK's winners everywhere. Nico's up and about. You were up and about last time we saw you on the stream, and now you go back to headquarters. You love Flemington. This is your time to shine, big fella.
Well, mate, if is there another day? I know we talk Guineas Day, Christmas Day, but is there another day that just gets you all revved up on the Monday or Tuesday prior? I had to have a hit out last night just to take some freshness away ahead of Saturday, and cannot wait for Saturday. The card is just makes you salivate. It's a big day, 9 races, all of them are crackers, and the Empire Rose, which we've got some history with, the Bet Doctor boys and us, and I'm just gotten out the fetal position from Odium getting rolled last year, but it's time for some closure.
Mate, outstanding. I won't ask what the prep is that you've had, but let's get straight into the odds. Empire Rose Stakes odds courtesy of TopSport. Tofane up the top of the market here, $3.90 into $3.50. Mystic Journey, $6. She could be back, Betty. Colette, $6.50. Flying Mascot, big winner last time, $9.50. Still a Start, was tough, $11. Amaral Arena, $16. Hungry Hearts, $16. Celio Miss is $21. Big price hit. Mirror Vision, $26. Sierra Sue, wow, $26. Stein and one of Nico's horses, $26. Kiku, $34. Nimali, $34. I'm nearly at the end, so I might as well keep going through them. Harmony Rose, $41. And Pride of Jenny, $61. Let's have a look at Tofane again here. And it's
here she is. I'll tell you what. Where is she on the rail in the coffin? I think here, trying to get a run, and she was just held up for a run from about the 400. This is the I'm Thunderstruck race that we're all cheering our lungs out for. They get thunderstruck to the line, and it's the one coming down the outside. Now Tofane burst through a gap, and there was no gap to be taken. She took one, hit the line good, went through and got bloused by one of the form horses in the country. We were all cheering, obviously, on the stream. We wanted Thunderstruck, but when I went back and looked at that race, she's given him 6 kilos. He's on fire. He got the run when he needed it. It was just she probably should have almost won that race. And what odds would she be Saturday if she had she had a roll Thunderstruck, who everyone's in raptures about for the Golden Eagle. So that's her last run. The run before, she's eyeballed the best weight for age horse in the country. People say she can't run a mile. She got beat a length that day. She comes back to mare's grade here, and everyone's got 57. She gets gate 2. I'm just fearful for what I don't think I'll actually watch the quaddie legs if she gets rolled on Saturday, because I cannot see how this horse gets rolled. And when you take all those things, the form lines are amazing. She gets $1 million bonus, the owners and co, if she wins on Saturday after winning the Tats Tiara in Brisbane in the winter. So this is her grand final. She's ready to rock and roll. I just cannot find a cross mark against this horse, and there were $4 floating around yesterday. If you see any of that, punters, just do yourself a favour, Molly Meldrum, and just tuck in, bet responsibly, but tuck in. And if you go through some of the other runners in the market, all of them want a softer track than they're going to get on Saturday. The map, the horses outside that want to go forward are going to have to do some work to cover her up. Oh my goodness me! I'm just not sure what will happen if she goes down in this Empire Rose.
Mate, yeah, your speed map is interesting here. You got the big blue duck out the front. I assume that's Tofane, and you got everyone in behind it. So she's just going to roll straight to the funny, control it, and that's going to be the best chance she gets to run out a strong mile. And anyone that probably knocked her in the 2-rack, I think you can poo-poo that she doesn't run a mile. She was, if she had even luck, it would have been a bobbing finish. Whether she beats Thunderstruck, I'll never know. But Case, this blue duck, please explain.
Well, yeah, like I said, I took the edge off last night, and we're doing the map and taking too long on it. I got a bit bored, and I've never seen a blue duck on a speed map before. And to be honest with you, I just wanted to see what a blue duck looked like. And I just think the rest of these horses get a front row ticket to the Tofane show, and she's going to be out there like the proverbial big blue duck, and they get to watch her rump just head off into the distance and salute the judge. So I just try not to use swear words about what I think about the chances for this horse. But yeah, I might not never back a Moroni horse again if she doesn't get the chocolates on Saturday.
Nico, what are your thoughts?
I'm on Mystic Journey at 11, so I'm kind of pulling her tail to Fane, but I definitely can see she's a big chance, isn't she? She might be the horse that I kind of chop out on the race. Like Kay said, most of them are kind of wanting probably softer ground. Mystic Journey's probably better on softer ground. Colette, same sort of boat. Where a few of the others at, she ticks every box. She runs the mile. I think 3 weeks out of the 2-rack will be okay. Like I'm Thunderstruck. I know we talked about those horses, but could be flat. But 3 weeks might be the go. Loves Flemington, this horse, and her most recent runs. She took on the boys last start in the 2-rack. She took on the boys in the Kybediva. She won the Stradbroke. Like coming back to her own sex. Yeah, she's going to be hard to beat for sure.
I think we've got the Mystic Journey replay, so we'll watch her hit the line. And Colette would be fresh for everyone. Colette is an absolute wettie, might be the best wet tracker in Australia, so everyone knows that. Flying Mascot, we've seen that recently. He's still a star, where this is still a star here.
Still a star is hard to knock in this race. Like, she'll just have the similar run to what she got here. She's had one run in her career where she hasn't run a place, and that was in an all-star mile on a real wet track. Mystic Journey just charges the line here. I think she was one of the fastest last 200 metres of the meeting. She looks like she's maybe not back to her best, but she's somewhere near it. I don't know if she'll ever get back to the best that we saw her, but I think she's somewhere back to where she was last spring, where she started favourite in this race and had no luck. So
is the low draw. You probably would have preferred she drawn out. She seems better outside horses.
I think they might be able to use her a bit from the low draw, though. Like, there was no intent there whatsoever. Now from barrier 3, grand final race, Nola might actually try to get her out the gates, and she might not have to give him 20 lengths like she did there. But it's probably not a negative. But again, if she gets buried back on the rail, then it could be a positive, a negative.
Interesting runner, Mystic Journey. At this track and distance, I can see the big syndicates launching in and the data players.
Well, they did that last year.
In.
Like, she started favourite in the Empire.
She could be off the map.
She has a huge figure in the Australian Guineas and the All-Star Mile. It's a bit of old form, but it's going to mean something here, isn't it?
Yep. All right, let's take a look at the VRC Derby while we've got Case on the line. Let's have a look at the market at the VRC Derby here. Forgot you a really big win there in the Vars, $4.60, Gunstock $4.60. You got Hitotsu $6.50. Weird sort of setup it. Tuta Kaka or Choo Choo Kaka as Matty Hill calls it, $9, Allegra $9.50, Jungle Magnate $18, T Waters $19, Commander Harry $26, Spirit of Gaylord $26. A lot of talk about this horse on the borderline of getting a run. It might be a bit of trainer error here or bad luck. Akahiro $34, Cerberus $34, Character $34, Zoom on $34. Well, your horse, DK, is another one of the rough chances there. Gun Deck, and I can't really see a winner coming from outside that, but the Derby can throw up some real roughhouse results. Let's have a look at a couple of replays here. Let's go Gunstock first. Absolutely destroyed him here. Not sure what was in the field, whether El Patronus is the Mickey Mouse form, but I like the way you put him away. Didn't you, Nico?
Yeah, big win. Blinkers went on here. Savage is the line where he's a bit wayward last start. Goes right past him. I think he could be potentially the best horse in this race, but he's going to have to show it from the gate now, isn't he? He's going to have to go right back from 19, circle the field, and show what he's got. I think he's got a lot of talent. That's just taking him out of play. If he had a drawn, say, barrier number 8 here and could have settled closer, I probably could have got entertained and been backing him, but I think you'll probably get closer to 550, 6 on the day because I just see people taking him on because of the map.
DK laid in severely there. What are your thoughts now? Stepping out to 2,500 and just that maturity factor.
Yeah, no, he's got a good platform stepping up. He's a horse. I mean, was he 4th up for the win at 2,000? And Mick Price is saying they've had a look at it, and Jai was saying the Derby can be won by that second wave coming. They're going to hope that's in his favour, that you can run on, and the wave of the strong stayers rounds them up. So but the barrier draw makes it hard for mine.
All right, let's have a look at the spring champion and my horse here. Allegron comes through that one. You got Profondo in the Castelvecchio type colours here, and you got Allegron just sort of whacking away. I think this horse is going to eat up the 2,500 metres. I would have liked him probably a little bit sharper through the line, I must admit, but I still can't believe his price of, say, $9.50, $3 the place versus these other horses that are probably racing the rung below.
He's a different form, isn't he? Most of these you can tie him in. They've been racing together, whereas he just comes out of the Sydney form, which could be better, chasing Profondo. Looks like he's the absolute stayer, doesn't he? 2,500 is going to suit this horse down to the ground to the line there. Brett Preble goes aboard, huge positive there, and he's going to be wanting to get a winner for Godolphin, isn't he? Because if he comes out and wins on one of their horses, he's got a spot in there for the rest of his time here in Melbourne. If he wins the Group 1 for him, they're going to be using him. So, I can see each way. He's definitely a big,
he's going
big show.
He's going to be honest, isn't he? He's going to be strong. He's going to run the trip. But we can, you can say that sometimes the Sydney form can be stronger, but we've got the Sydney form tying through the Guineas and Lanamo coming down here. So I'm not as, say, scared of the Sydney form coming into this race. So more the Caulfield Guineas tie, and I'm looking more to that race for myself.
Case, playing bookie here, how would you attack this one? You got Forgot You through the Vars, you got Gunstock. Do you lay the two up the top and pray for the split? Well, how do you handle this?
I think you've got to, Scoot. I think despite how good a chance Gunstock looks to have, and now I forgot you might be a bit soft, but you've got to get something out of both those horses, even if you just look at the history of the race, that it does throw results. And there's a lot of horses with different form line, progressive ones, and you just don't know who's going to bob up and who's going to not turn up. So you have to make a book. Hitotsu's the one. I'm with DK. I like the Guineas form, and I think it might be the progressive one that just jumps out of its form. And the Assaulter and Co were telling me all about it before the Guineas, and I'm like, it's not going to win the Guineas. But when you watch how it went through the line that day, it's in the right camp. It's got the Potato Man on board. He's on fire after the Cox Plate. I'm with it, but very tough race as opposed to the Derby.
I look at a horse like a Totsu, and I agree with most of what Casey's saying there. It was great through the line, but to me, that is a really pooey setup. I don't like a horse that goes 1,600 to 2,500 third up in its campaign here.
It's the right camp to do it.
That's right.
It's the right camp to do
hard
it.
to doubt.
But there's no way I could take 650 about a horse
you
going
couldn't.
from...
I mean, what you're saying, you would have said the same thing. How's a Donald Maiden going to line up in the Caulfield Guineas, and look what it did. Like we only won a Donald Maiden, second up into a Caulfield Guineas that's run third. I think he's the X Factor horse myself.
Interestingly enough, he beat Commander Harry in that Donald Maiden. He started $1.26.
He did.
Didn't have a lot of luck and still beat him easily. Commander Harry's Forgot You within half a neck last start there in the Vars. So
I mean,
he's easy to tie in, isn't he?
You're backing the camp in here, aren't you? You're backing the camp. I see they put a crossover on him, so he'll probably help him settle, because it's going to be the tempo is going to be key. He's got to settle in the tempo. That's the biggest.
And it was the plan. Like, they come out of the Guineas and it wasn't like, we're going to run the Vars. It was like, no, we'll just go straight to the Derby. This has been the plan. So it's not like he's had a setback or anything. So.
That's right. He was going to go to the 1,800 second, but he went to the Guineas instead.
Well, interesting enough, in that 1,800 metre race, he was $4 and Gunstock was $3.20. So before he got scratched, obviously. So they've had him right in everything, haven't they?
Forgot You's had a pretty busy prep and has that flat spot. Gunstock will be out in Nebraska. I think he's the one. Jay Allen's he's such a good rider of stays, Jay Allen.
When do we find the bottom of Forgot You? He might be absolutely on the canvas. He might be buggered.
He could be. He's had a busy couple of runs. Like he did find the line really well on the Guineas. You couldn't knock him. But Totsu, I thought he found the line just as well.
If I was like Case and had to play bookie, he'd be the one I'd be putting in.
Forgot You. Yeah. You might just, if there's a big drift for Forgot You, you might even just try and lay him the place as well.
And if they go you just find the 3-year-olds can run the 2,500, even if they're not 2,500 metre horses. Like we've seen it in the past,
especially in the Oaks. You see a lot of the
exactly.
fillies do that.
Yeah. So I just think this camp. who's to query them at 2,500? And I'm just looking for some fresh get in there with the coiled spring sort of horse, and he looks like the coiled spring horse to me.
DK, you're talking about this rhubarb gin at Dan Murphy's. I'm giving away odds here: 650 a Totsu, 950 a Legron. Do you want a little side bet for the bottle of rhubarb gin if Legron versus Hitotsu? Little head to head here.
Yeah, well, I'll go. Well, I'll give head to head. So I'll get
head to head.
Yeah,
we're on.
But I've got to give you some more, don't I? I've got to give you a bottle of red as well.
Oh no, we'll go head to head.
Right.
Well, my horse has been to 2,000, and yours has got the skew with prep. So I think it's fair fight.
That's all right. Fair first past the post.
First past the post. The rhubarb gin.
All right, I've got to find.
You're spruiking it.
I'm spruiking it. Yeah,
Dan Murphy's.
Dan Murphy's.
Outstanding. All right, Case, you heard of this rhubarb gin?
It's not a gin man. He's a whiskey man, isn't he?
Very strong mail from DK. He hasn't shut up about it today. He's got me popping down the shops. But yeah, the rhubarb, very underrated. What is it? A fruit? I don't know what it is, but bloody delicious.
Looks like celery. It's like a purple type celery. You have it with rhubarb and custard pudding.
Have you ever seen the crumble?
Oh,
you ever see it on a dessert menu anywhere? It's like the loaded affogato. If you'll see the loaded affogato on the sweet menu, it's just lock it in. You know what that is? Do you know what a loaded affogato is, Nico?
No.
Okay, it's the ice cream with the frangelico and the coffee
And you tip
with
it over.
vodka, loaded vodka and all that. Because ice creams are digestive. So after you have a meal, ice creams are very good digestive. So you get the coffee, you get the frangelico, and you get the vodka. It's hard, but rhubarb crumble with ice cream is also just absolute lock it in.
Absolute key for a long lunch, and
Oh, yeah.
can't wait for one of those after.
Sounds
cup
like
week.
something the mug would be all over that one.
A loaded affogato. Just lock it in.
Top shelf stuff. All right, Case, punters can see you on Sunday, can they? Mornington, Peninsula Cup Day.
Morning's Peninsula Cup punters, we're back. We are back out there. So do yourself a favour. Everyone's got itchy feet. We got Mornington Sunday, obviously HQ if you're lucky to get a ticket next week, and then Balnarring. The picnics are back for Stakes Day. So you'd be crazy to miss it. If you can't get to headquarters, just do yourself a favour and get to the down the Mornington Peninsula. Balnarring Stakes Day is a pearler of a day, and we'll obviously look after you. Any of the bet doctors come up and say good day, you'll get the silver service. Don't worry about that.
You're back being the marijuana bookie on the grass? You're out the front lawn there? Marijuana bookie?
Yeah, mate, that's the old man. He's a bit
that's the old man.
hippie,
Sorry.
But,
The old man, he's
he's an old hippie out there. Yeah, but
On the
no,
grass,
we're in the
always
main.
on the grass.
We're big time in the picnics, mate. We're in the main ring. Waiting
the main
for
ring,
the likes
yeah.
of Nico Noonan to come in and wipe us out after checking out the yard.
He will bet you, punters, if you're there. He gave me a crack that day, and we went head-to-head for a few races there, but I think I got the better of him, so
Yeah, it should be, mate. Bookie versus punter.
I might try and just sneak into Balnarring. Might do the yard from there as well. I might have to find some bets there too. I might have to send
That's right, to
Dave.
get
Might
the
need a
yard
runner.
mail, you're going to have to let Nico Noonan on if you want to get the real yard mail. So, you can handball it after that.
Outstanding stuff, Case. So good luck on Saturday and for the rest of the Cup week, and we'll try and tune in this time next week for more musings and thoughts, and hopefully that blue duck just sails first past the post.
Oh, praying punters. I need Empire Rose closure. Have a great day and enjoy it. It's Derby Day. It's spectacular every year. Can't wait.
Outstanding stuff, Case. All right, the speed map you saw is puntingform.com.au. So if you want to do your maps, save all your notes and get kickstarted with the database, it is foolproof. It's easy to use and very simple. I'm hopeless with the computer. I think it took me a day to figure out how to deposit into some crypto markets, but Punting Form, you can just go straight into there. I think you can figure it out within sort of half an hour or an hour, and Sugar Shane Baker will give you a private tutorial as well. $2.97 a month. That's puntingform.com.au. So if you want to take your punting from an amateur to a pro level, make sure you check out puntingform.com.au. All right, we'll take a quick break and we'll talk more Flemington with Nico next. Welcome back to Bet Doctor. It's Derby Day. We are absolutely amped, and Case is fantastic. Then let's have a look at the Hotham now. Race 2 on the card. Nico's found one here, and top of the market here is Great House. Well, looks too short for me. $2.40. Mancayan $3.60. King's Charisma $7. La Donde V, horse that saved us on the Bull Stream, $10. Missary is $13. Knight's Order $17. And Fun Fact $18. Mirage Dancer $18. And Sous Le Nuages $31. That was a horse that I spec'd, and it was scratched and saved for this. I took about 100 to 1 yesterday in the Bendigo Cup and wasn't required with Wentwood. But Nico, we're going to have a look at last up replay of Mancayan. Drawn barrier 1, Meach, Ma, Eustace, 2,500 metres. You can see why you found this.
Yep, easy find, isn't it? This is his last start at Caulfield. Your punters are probably looking at this form thinking, a benchmark 78 form, but he did do a lot of work in the middle stages to sort of get into this race, and he's kicking there with Durston, his stablemate, who looks like he has a fair bit of ability. No doubt Alswan probably should have won the race, rubbing that in for a few punters out there. But he's just, that last 200, he had the gap between runs. He was about a month off, and he's just the 5th fastest at his last 200 there. So obviously just fitness was telling there late. Gets up to 2,500 metres here and gets the blinkers on for the first time. Meach draws barrier number 1. That was the first time he's ever taken a position in a race in Australia. So I imagine she rides him very similar, probably takes the box seat here.
Is that a worry?
Not in a staying race, I don't think.
You don't think? Is it a worry? One for Meach and one for the... I'd sort of prefer Linda to be outside horses personally. I'm just being inside. I mean, he's got to have to wait for the breaks, doesn't he?
He does, but he has a really good turn of foot, this horse. His first start here in Australia was enormous. You go back through his starts, we go, well, Great House is coming through the Metrop and the Caulfield Cup, where he's run 5th in both great runs. You go back to this Kembla Grange benchmark 78, Mancayan starts favourite, $3.90, and beats Great House by 2 lengths. I think Mancayan was No, he copped a few bad rides from Hugh at Kembla Grange, and it was purely the reason he didn't get into a Metrop. He didn't get into the Caulfield Cup because he didn't have a rating.
Yep.
So they've come back and they've gone, all right, we need to win a race to get into a race, and this is obviously golden ticket into the Melbourne Cup. Had that run at Caulfield, blow up the cobwebs. Blinkers go on here.
This is to get him in the cup.
Oh, this is big time. This is handlebars down.
Mar at what, 2,500?
Blinkers on first time, 2,000 metres plus in Australia. Horses under $21. 18% win strike rate, 20% profit on turnover.
Decent.
Highly profitable, those horses.
Love the shades. Love the shades. But that's interesting on stays. I never thought about that.
Yeah, so
I see him on horse.
it's nearly where you want to find him. Mar Eustace Airborne. I'm happy. I think this horse is the best bet of the day, to be honest. I think Linda just takes the gap. He's too good. Great house out of play, and I think he's a better horse. So take the 360 and take the 100 to 1 in the cup, because he won't start that. He'll start $21 in the cup if he ends up winning this race, which I think he will. So happy to back him in both. Confident.
Might be one for the fave out Melbourne Cup market. DK.
I've already got one for that.
We're going to do a Melbourne Cup preview show on Sunday, so we'll keep a little bit up our sleeve. But Mancain could be the real big blowout here, and looks like they've tried to get his horse's weight down, and now they've found a race that can just get the golden ticket in. So Mancain, Nico Noonan, $3.60, his best for the day. I'm not even going to add comment. If Nico's rubber stamped it as his best, I'm going to stand out of the way. This bloke is absolutely on fire. The one of the best races on the card, and nearly for the year, is the Coolmore Stud Stakes. Let's have a look at the market odds courtesy of TopSport here. And in the Congo, 440 into 390, Extreme Warrior 440, Palelli 750, Artoris 950, Home Affairs $11, Kalos is 11, 21 Ingratiating, and you can get much, much better the rest. I tell you what, all those horses in single figures, and even down to Home Affairs, who's coming through the Everest. That is just mouth-watering lineup. That's one of our great races that I'm a big fan of the Golden Rose, but I'd nearly say that this is nearly a bigger turn-on for me. Let's have a look at the Golden Rose in the Congo and Artorias. We've got Animo, who's gone on and won the Guineas.
Oh, this is the Sapphire.
This is the Sapphire.
Extreme Warrior. So he's coming into this, he won the maiden off this at Echuca, and then he absolutely bolts in here, smashing Profiteer. It was as easy as you liked it, really. Spain just gives him a few cuts with the whip, and he just goes completely on with it. Fastest closing splits in this entire race. Clearly his best overall figure. Rated very well. I think Dan O had him going to a huge figure in his sort of numbers. So I think the figure he run was one of the best for the 3-year-olds all season. I think he's just coming to his own. This horse was always shown a lot of ability, and was thereabouts with your Animos and your General Bows as a 2-year-old, but I think he's gone on since then, and I think we saw that there in the Blue Sapphire, absolutely bolted in there. And I think he can still improve from the yard. He was still doing a few things wrong there. He's been a horse who, throughout his entire career, he's sort of got a bit colty in the yard, but he's learning, he's maturing, and I think that's showing on the racetrack at the moment. So I had Profiteer on top of him in the yard last start, and I thought, well, if they head to a Coolmore, I'd probably want to reverse that. No Profiteer here, but Extreme Warrior, I think he's going to be hard to beat, gets the right run, probably tags Palele or one of those kind of horses to take him into the race. Looks like the straight's going to suit him down to the ground. I can see what some people are saying. We're sort of in the Congo that he's going to be up there on speed, but he just gives me a tradesman-like feel. Like this, I know it was a win in a Golden Rose. He beats Animo. He did have a massive bias in his favour this day. You go back through his form, he's sort of mixed it with Palele. He's beaten him a few times and all those kind of things. I know he's going to be on speed. He had to look down the straight and the jump out, which he handled it fine.
And the blinkers on in the jump out.
Blinkers on here as well. So it's go, but like look at Artorias taking the late ground off him here. Artorias has had nothing in his favour, and he's absolutely charging home late. I can't get Artorias out of my mind. Like, if this horse can find clear galloping room, I don't think he needs to... I don't care if he's last. He just has to find clear galloping room, chase the entire race. That's when he's best suited. Like, his best run's in a high-pressure Blue Diamond. In the Congo here, a few others who are going to be rolling along up in speed. Kalos, Home Affairs sort of state. Like, they're not going to go slow. That's going to be where we're going to see the best of him in a high-pressure 1,200-metre race. And I suppose the most recent example of a horse like, I think, Artorias, who has probably the most ability in this race, might have been Merchant Navy. Gets their last hop, fast-run race. I'm having something on him at 9s, and I'm back in Extreme Warrior as well.
Yeah, the straight, I like him going to the straight, Artorias. You know, then round the bend and sort of conceding. And the pressure, he doesn't have to think. You know, he can be a bit quirky and get a little bit chewy, but... I think it sets up well for him. And I'll just again Mick Price on after the last night said he's a bit of a quirky horse too. Extreme Choice. He said he's at home he'll only work alongside a maiden and do what he has to do. He said on race day he's a real race. It's turned out he's learned a lot about him. He's a real racehorse. And he said he should have won nearly his first start in town. And he's he's robust. And
don't bring that up, DK.
There you go.
It tens into fives at a moral beat.
There you go. Oh, there you go. So and I'll just the other thing I noticed is Paul Ailey's got a good against in the Congo. Paul Ailey's got some good weight swing on in the Congo from when they've met at previous meetings. So great race.
Well, the horses
The top five in the market. I wouldn't talk anyone out of backing. Taurus and Home Affairs are backable prices if you like them, and then I think if you're bullish, like you're going to get a fair price about any runner you like here.
And I think they're horses you probably would have followed. Like the people you've been in their camp before, so I say stick with but you've got to be consistent. I'd say that to even recreational guys. If you're a W Pike punter, stick with him. You don't back him one race, drop off the next, and he beats you because it's just a grey up. So you do this. So if you back Paul Ailey 3 or 4 times his prep you've backed in the past, stick with him in the big race, or at least have something on him. You don't lose on it. So and people who always back Artorias and always stick with your horse.
So Extreme Warrior for Nico, free bet time. I'd be interested to see what Nico finds in the yard. So free bet, DK. I know this isn't your go, but free bet you back Artorias. If I gave you $100 free bet here in this race, how do you
probably
spend it?
would, yeah.
Yeah. I'd be probably the same.
He just keeps savaging the line. He just needs. I just think it'll set up for him to flash through and let him go hard and he's going to be really strong late. So yeah, at the odds,
he does look the best of him, doesn't he? He's got to get his racecraft right.
That's right. He's got some pretty freakish talent. You know. And it just could set up really well for him. So at the odds, still trying to win something. What is he, $8 or $9? Did you say?
$9.50.
Yeah,
TopSport.
Yeah, I would have taken $9.50.
You've got to get some cream in the price because he's going to be giving him a start. But
Fascinating. Okay, I think that's a wrap from us, and we'll take a little bit of a break, and we'll talk Assaulter from Malta next. He's going to preview the Cantala, and he's going to preview the Golden Eagle. Welcome back to Bet Doctor, behind the curtain look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host Scoot, and Nico and DK are in studio, and now it's time to talk to the man with the golden gun, Jason AZZOPARDI, undefeated on the show. He's an absolute gem, this bloke. Nature Strip, Secret Blaze, he declared them both. You guys have got plenty of money in your kick, and he's going to add more. Jace, how are you?
Well, thanks, Scoot. Thanks for that introduction. Only one way to go from here, but hopefully we can keep the roll going.
Mate, you are absolutely airborne, and you're a pinch hitter. So we've got you to do the Golden Eagle this week, but it's Derby Day, and I'll tell you what, I was salivating yesterday when I was looking at the fields. DK was mentioning earlier that spring's in the air. It's a little bit warmer. All the blood's starting to pump, as fast as it can through every little orifice and muscle of ours down here. But we're a horned up deluxe, and you found one in the Cantala that you're horned up for. So before we have a look at the Golden Eagle, let's have a look at one of the features, the Cantala stakes here. Odds courtesy of TopSport, and it's Mr. Brightside that tops the market. One of yours, DK. I think you backed it when it was kicking off in its maidens months and months ago. But $3.90 favourite here. Roy Deeney, $9. Shiloh, $9.50. Arameo, $10. Ice Bar, $10. Superstorm, $11. One of my horses. Buffalo River, $12. Cascadian, $12. Quantum Mechanic, $19. Just Folk is on the back up here, $26. King Magnus, $26. Zatori, $26. And you can get much, much better than the rest. We're going to have a quick look at Mr. Brightside last time out at Ballarat, winning here. Jace, talk us through it.
Yeah, look, I think this is a listed race, but look at Mr. Brightside here. It's on the wrong part of the track there. The rail was off. This race is over 400 out. It is absolutely jogging. It's absolutely destroyed these horses. And, are these Group 1 horses? They're not. But the form out of this has been super strong. Wicklow Town ran second. It's gone on and won at Moonee Valley on Friday night. Milton Park went on and won that cup race last weekend. The form out of it is absolutely red hot for a listed race. As I said, that race was over on the turn. It was just such a dynamic win. He absolutely jogged up the straight. This horse, he came from New Zealand. They bought it after one start, I think it was, or 2 starts. Got beat by Too Much to Bear and a maiden, which I'm still devastated about. And has just since then just gone through the grades here. I think they've really managed this horse exceptionally well, the Hazes. They've targeted this race aiming to get in on the limit, and it just hits this race in absolute peak form. And I know there's plenty of people out there on Twitter land saying this horse is a benchmark 84 horse. How's it favourite? It's got none. But the way this race will be run, Buffalo River and Riadini, there's a heap of speed. And a lot of these horses get out of their ground. Superstorm, Cascadian, Shalo. It's just going to posse up here with 52 just behind the speed, and it's going to come up around them with about 400 to go and accelerate, and it's going to take an exceptional run from something behind to beat it. Look, I've had this race in mind for this horse for about 6 weeks, and I was hoping to get $10, and when it's come up fave, I'm like, oh, I don't want to back it. But the reality is it's just the horse, the clear top pick in this race. And I think we're going to get better than the price you've got there at the moment, because I think there will be a lot of opposition to this horse. But look, the figures that it's run on my ratings is equal to anything else on this race. I think there's only 2 possible dangers. I think Shalo is a clear second pick. It's in on the limit as well. The key to this horse is fresh. Don't be put off by the 5 weeks between runs. They've done that intentionally. She's 4 from 4 fresh. Her run was absolutely enormous when she won last start, but she did only run down Be Good to Your Mother. But I think Mile Flemington on the limit, this horse is, has an electrifying finish, and if any of them run down Mr. Brightside, it's her. And Arameo, it's a funny horse, isn't it? Gone to Singapore, was average at, in Melbourne in the middle of the year, and has come back, and it's pretty good. That Epsom run, 53.5, Waller just sneaking up on the fence of G-Boss, Group 1 mile. It's probably the only type of race that you want to be on him is in Group 1s. I thought that was the other danger. So I thought, for quaddie players, etc., this is a leg you could really skinny up on the day because it is quite a difficult day. But I'll be backing Mr. Brightside and Shalo to win significantly, and I'll be chopping out on Arameo.
It was interesting looking at that replay, Jason. I might throw to DK here, but Just Folk was the horse that was 4 lengths behind Mr. Brightside there. It's come out and won the Crystal Mile, so it's gone from listed to Group 2 level. Beat a horse called Elephant last week. It's on the backup Just Folk, so it's gone 52 kilos. So out of those horses, I'd probably be leaning Mr. Brightside. But what do you think? Like, it's been up a while, this horse.
It's been up a while, but that's the beauty of what Az is saying. Now, he's followed the horse. He knows the horse really well. That's what I pride myself on, knowing horses. Like, I knew him. I saw him jump out. That's what I was first late. I saw him jump out. I said, what's this horse? Go back and look at his New Zealand replays. I can see why they bought him. He's like got held up all the way up the straight in one of those runs, gone and brought him. As I said, they've full credit to the Hayes boys. How can they get this horse to this race on the limit weight? They've done it. He's in great form. Look, he might drift, but I can see this. I can see the models supporting him. They love a picket fence. They love a good mapper. So that all plays in his favour to be strong in betting late. He's a horse on the up. He's still got plenty of upside, that horse. Like they haven't got to the bottom of him. So.
I think a big thing with him's been his attitude. Like, even his attitude in the mounting yard, he's always just looked like a horse that does everything so easy. It's the way he wins his races. Full credit to the team to get him where he has. He was a horse, I think we've backed him on the mounting yard stuff 3 or 4 times because he just parades outstanding every start, and he always kind of looked like a horse who was just a cut above the rest of them, and when they're like that, they usually end up in this sort of grade. I think the big thing with him here is he's adaptable with both speeds. Like, he's been in a fast run race at Moonee Valley where they've gone, 9.5 lengths above to the 600 metre mark. He's the strongest late there. Last start, they go 10 lengths below. He has to sprint home, sort of 12 lengths above his last 600. He's strong as anything else in the race late. I think that's the huge tick with him. He's versatile and he gets the right run. I was Mr. Brightside to beat Arameo, probably Superstorm in the game if he's a real get back run on closer, but.
I think they're just the more seasoned horses, Superstorm and Cascadian. I think their chances has been cruel to the barrier draw. Like Superstorm 14, and then you got Cascadian 15. You got Oliver on 1, and then J-Mac. They're just going to have they've got one option, and they're just going to have to snag right back. And as Jay said, it's a big start. You got weight. He's going to take a lot of catching, this horse.
By no means a vintage Cantala either.
No.
I think that plays into the bright side as well. But yeah, and then his opposition, and they're going to be have to make up big ground on him.
Yeah, Aramayo's definitely the stalker. I reckon you could mark Aramayo much shorter. Like he ran second in the Epsom last start. He was headed by Darlison, kickback to beat Darlison. He gets run over the top by Private Eye, who'll probably touch on a bit later. But I definitely think he's the danger, and I marked him second pick, Aramayo.
So on first look at it looks like a big jump in class, but hopefully they take him on and we get a price. Hopefully your market read is as good as you've been reading the races. All right, should we do Rosehill? Should we bother with Sydney, DK?
Sydney,
We've upset a couple of people.
Yeah, we upset. We got some feedback on Twitter. There's the Golden Eagles. Was it? I think
the Bondi.
I'll quote as it. It's a $7.5 million benchmark 84. We did get some feedback last night.
Did you go after a couple of horses
last week?
It might have been PVL's burner, I reckon, on Twitter.
PVL burner account?
Had to be.
I didn't say that about the Great Sydney Racing. I think DK's making that up. Abuse him on Twitter and not me.
Oh, I'll quote someone else. And we did get some feedback from Mark on Twitter last night. He said, "Can we stay out of the Melbourne Sydney versus rubbish, and can we pay homage to the Classique Legend Stakes and what a great field it is?" And I just want to quote Peter Lawrence, who's a long-time punter, opinionated on Twitter. I'll quote him. He says, "Say what you want about the Everest. It's been a big success for sure. But the Classique Legend Stakes is nothing but an act of bastardry whose sole purpose is to destroy the Darley Sprint next Saturday." So there we go. So we'll stay out of this Melbourne Sydney rubbish, but we are a Victorian-based show, and that's the point of the Classique Legend. So I just thought we'd get that out there, Mark.
Nice.
Well, I thoroughly support that comment, and the invitation was an act of bastardry to ruin the Empire Rose, and that failed. And the Golden Eagle is an act of bastardry to try and keep the good 4-year-olds out of the Melbourne Spring, and that's failed. I would say all their pop-up races this spring have failed. And not only that, the protest last week went past the invitation, which means everyone missed the invitation and they lost millions in turnover after Volandis insisted that it was after the Cox Plate so they could get more turnover. So it's just been brilliant on all fronts. Long live the Melbourne Spring, long live the racing pattern, and let's get this stuff sorted out.
It's crazy, isn't it? Oh dear, cash. That's what we're all racing for, and $7.5 million Golden Eagle. Let's have a look at the market here. Nico's horse from the stream. This is another one that Nico found very early in its career, and it was good to us when we took on the rant. Jace, knocked you boys off slightly, but I'm Thunderstruck as a favourite here. 480 into 390 already on the move. Private Eye $7. Apache Chase has been a big go. 13 into 750. Ellsberg 850. Count to Rupee 14. Maximal 14. Law of Indices is 21. A Tissue $26. Exo Boom out at Pop last start, $26. How often does a horse win the start after you've backed it? Vangelic, $26. Aegon, $31. Forbidden Love, $31. Love Tap, $34. Media Award is $34. And horses like Amish Boy round out the chances there at $41. So it's got a fair tail on this one, that's for sure. We're going to have a quick look at Thunderstruck first. And it's a pretty... he's Apache Chase rounding up Emerald Kingdom, which is he's a pretty hard going horse, but this horse is on fire at the moment. Apache Chase from the Desley Foster Yard. Chase,
yeah, going enormous, this horse, and to be fair, the horse has had ability right throughout its career. Its winter in Brisbane was really strong. It ran second in the Queensland Guineas, where actually Private Eye ran it down. It went to the Fred Best and beat Ayrton when Ayrton was a $1.30 or whatever it was, and then went to the Stradbroke and got beat 4 lengths and was on the inside there where you didn't want to be. It was $8 in the 650. So this horse has a heap of ability. He went to the Westwood first up in a listed race and got the chocolates, and then went to that open handicap and comes to Rosehill here, and definitely the race shape suits this horse on Saturday.
And let's have a look at Thunderstruck in the Toorak. It was a barging sort of, it was out the back in the ruck. It was a little bit sticky for a while there, and Jai's just found a passage. Cool ride, really, and he just explodes through the line there, and I think he doesn't really lose much here with Hugh Bowman now taking the ride. Nico?
No, not at all. Like Huey's, I think he had the opportunity to stay down in here in Melbourne, and he went back up to ride this horse up in Sydney. Probably the one knockout of the Toorak is there's a few horses that have come out of it and failed. So maybe that really fast run race has left a few a bit flat, but he is going to be 3 weeks between runs and he is back in trip. So there is some positives there for him. I think this is the only horse that these pop-up races have lured away. Like, this would have been a great horse to see in a Cantala or a Cox Plate, but we get to see him up there, and I think we get a reasonable enough price to back him. I think he probably is, of what we've seen, one of the better sort of 4-year-olds that we have. He's $3.90 here. I kind of only saw his only dangerous Private Eye, really, and his other danger is probably the pattern. If we get a track like Golden Rose Day, we saw that by Speed Animo. So, look, you got to be a good horse to overcome that. So if that's a factor there on Saturday, that could be something you have to work into your pricing in that. But I think $3.90 at this stage is more than respectable enough, and I think he's worth backing at that price, to be honest.
DK?
Yeah, well, I was saying to you earlier, Scoot, that Mick Price was on racing.com last night, and he's fantastic to listen to, Mick Price. None of the trainer spin or anything. He just calls it how he calls it, and he was great.
Straight shooter
with BZ and Matt, and they really interviewed him well. So a few learnings from what he said last night. I picked up he loves cash. He loves cash. He said, I need the money, and so does Huey. That's why they're pinging for $7.5 million. He didn't go Cox Plate and other options. 2, he said he's had a good look at the previous runnings of this race. There is a mad charge to the first bend, so he'll be sitting off in midfield and trying to round him up. And he also said Gerald Ryan's looking after the horse in Sydney. Said flicked him a text after he worked, must have been yesterday or the day before, whenever he worked, and said, there is no way you have got to the bottom of this horse yet. So I think that sort of offsets what might be that flat, predicting that maybe a flat run. That I'd say Gerald's had a look at him.
He's had the freshen up.
He's just in good order, you know. And Gerald said, "There's more in this horse. You've got more coming." And he's only lightly raced, as we know. So I thought they were all positives, and be nothing better for them. The Vics to go up there and take all that cash, lovely Peter Volandi's cash.
Apache Chase. I like the way Salter's going about this race, because he's got Apache Chase out up in front, and then he's got, I guess, the best closer on Thunderstruck. And you've got the imports too, Jace, the Law of Indices and Maximal. Now they've drawn the car park visitors' draws, thankfully.
Yeah. I think the race, this will be a dry deck at Rosehill, 1,500 metres. It's very, very hard to make a 600-metre run to the first turn. Then you sort of come to a turn, a little bit of straight, and then another big turn. It's very hard to make ground wide on those turns on a dry deck. So inside barriers are of key, and I think you'll find Apache Chase will work his way across. You've got the hardheads, Clark on Vangelic and Parr on Ellsberg, who are drawn in, and you can just see them putting up a bit of a roadblock behind the leader, not wanting to go too hard. I think it's going to make it extremely hard for backmarkers here. I think Huey is from 8 after scratchings. I expect him to lob sort of 6th to 8th. He's going to need to be there, and he knows that you can't make ground around that bend, so he's not going to go for him until they straighten. And hopefully there's been enough pace on for him to run them down. I think Apache Chase, I think those two are the only possible winning chance. I'm Thunderstruck and Apache Chase. I'm completely giving Private Eye and Ajon none. The only chance they have is if they snag, go back to the rail and weave through and fly home. They can't come around them and win, in my opinion. So I'll be leaving them out of everything. And Ellsberg and Love Tap, just with the inside gate getting a suck through, if there was any blowout, they'd be the two. But I'm betting heavily on Thunderstruck. I can't believe there's like $4.40 around town. For me, it's a $3 chance every day. And Apache Chase was a bet at $11, but still at that $8.50. He's going to be, hard fit, on speed at Rosehill, and I think those two, and as I said, Ellsberg and Love Tap are some roughies for people that want to take quaddies.
I tell you what, DK's, if there's horse left, this horse is going to soak up the pressure, and he's just going to launch late at him. This Thunderstruck, he only needs some good deal of luck and some clear air. I know what you're saying about Rosehill. You can get a little bit difficult for backmarkers, so a bit of a track watch there. But I think it's a safe way to go. So on the progressive horses in the Cantala and the Golden Eagle.
Nearly factored into the price already, at $3.80. Ellsberg's been the one that's been really well backed. He's been 17s into $8.50. So maybe the punters are sort of looking at that map and expecting the track to maybe play a bit up and in. But I'm with Jace. I think it's been factored in already that the way the track could potentially play. Like, he's a great price here off what he's been doing.
Outstanding stuff. Any other final thoughts or anything around the grounds, Jace? A Derby tip or a Pearl?
I thought the Derby. I thought I'll have a gun stop to a 19. Now I'm a bit grey. I know Nico's going to talk about the Coolmore, but later I thought $7 earlier in the week. It's coming a bit now, but I don't know how In the Congo isn't the clear favourite in the Coolmore. It's got me completely mystified. He's beaten Paul Lely this prep. He's beaten Animo this prep. Animo form's better than Profiteer form, I think. I did notice Extreme Warrior was shocking in the yard last start and could improve, and it's a dynamite race. But In the Congo, blinkers on, handlebars down from the 400. Catch me if you can. That's me every day of the week in the Coolmore. But what a race it is every year. Great colts, love it. So many good horses could win. That's the other bet I'll be having on the day is In the Congo.
Well, it's probably the only race that's still intact after PVL's tried to pop up and blast everything out of the water. So stay tuned. It's probably going to be the race he's going to go after next year. Jace, fingers crossed you can keep your unblemished record intact. But if you do, we'll probably sack you after, give you a week off anyway, because that's been the pattern. Kick a bag and give you a bit of a rest. But fresh performer, we might get you on for Thursday. Next Thursday, we've got, I think, an Oaks Day show and the Stakes Day show. So we might do a live show next Thursday.
There we go.
What do you reckon?
Right.
Or just so we cover both race days.
Yeah, all right.
And they can just jam in via YouTube some questions. But thanks very much, Jace. Good luck on the weekend.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
How's that?
Outstanding stuff. Now it's time to introduce our favourite segment. It's Mug's Moral, who's becoming quite the get-at stakes man. So let's see what the Mug has to say in Sydney this week.
Hi guys, this is everyone's favourite segment, the Mug's Moral. This week, you got to wait till 10 past 6, race 9, Rosehill, number 4, Brooks Spire. I tipped it a couple of weeks ago and it got scratched. I thought it was a moral, but this is a moral. It's got third up, 1 from 1. It's going to be off pace, Hugh Bowman, barrier free, 58 kilos. It looks the best horse in the race. That is the Mug's Moral for this week. For the main race of the day, the Golden Eagle, the Mug likes 2 horses. He likes I Am Thunderstruck and Ellsberg. And the Mug's a Derby tip for Melbourne. It is, he's got to go with Forgot You. He's on it at a good price. So, guys, Forgot You. So, the Mug's Moral this week is race 9, number 4, Brooks Spire. And in the Golden Eagle, he likes I Am Thunderstruck and Ellsberg. And in the Derby, he likes Forgot You. And what does the Mug say after he backs a winner? Go find your bookie. Thank you, and he'll be back on Sunday with his Melbourne Cup selections.
You can see what's happening here, Mug. Give us your best. Now he's gone 2 races. Now he's gone 3 races. He's coming after us. He's going to take over this show soon and tell you what their steam is. I think it's been 290 to 260 Brooks Spire here, but the way Mug bets and the way the market reacts to the Mug's mail, it might start evens, this thing.
Good. Yeah, they always get truckloaded. He's even started trolling me with the bloody Trent Bazuston hat.
I was going to bring that up.
Has he?
Yeah, the Bazuston racing on there. Here we go, on your Mug.
Doesn't miss a beat. He's an absolute beauty. And then Golden Eagle, he's dutching on Thunderstruck and Ellsberg, so he's hunting in the right sort of circles there. Ellsberg's drawn low, might get away with it.
Heavily tried early markets, Ellsberg, you said, didn't you, Nicker?
Yeah, he was 17s in.
Yeah, of course. It's he's a money man market, and then Forgot You, a horse that we're all going to oppose, but definitely is a pretty well-credentialed horse. Let's have a look at the TopSport big bets, the steam at TopSport. Last week, the Manicato Jonker. Nico, you were a bit keen it. It was $1,011 Jonker, so make sure you take note of this segment. This week, Flemington is the first one. Race 5, number 9. Amaral Arena is $1,000 at $18 here.
I like this bet. I reckon she can bounce back big time. She was probably ridden a bit upside down last start in the Yanks there. She was off the map in the betting. I think it was the day we were doing the stream, and the Ramp boys were keen on her. So,
we backed her as well. We had something
on too, and I think she'll be much better with the sit. J Mac at $21 or something. You got to be on there.
It's a crazy price. Just price point alone, forgive a run.
Yeah.
You got to be with it. This could
Got to go in the quaddie.
This could be DK's wager here. Race 6, number 9. Hatotsu, $2,008. Nice price.
Into 650 or something now. Yeah, no, I like it. Yep, I reckon he could explode this horse.
It'll be a phenomenal training performance.
Would be, but we keep saying that about him, don't we?
Yeah.
You know, and then we've seen that beautiful property they got down. Would he be down at Fingals or Totsu, mate? What do you think he'd be?
They all go there.
They all go there, all stays.
Everything just chops and changes everywhere at that stable, so I imagine he would have been
We've
down
seen
there.
those beautiful rolling hills they got down there and how they work them up the hill and, you know.
They're proven you don't need to race them to get them fit.
Yeah. It's a
do all the
derby.
work.
And I just picking up on that. Kieran Maher, they interviewed him after Bella Nipotina got beat the other night. And he just wants to win. Like they have so many winners, so many horses and everything, but he wasn't filthy, but he was, he really, I hate losing sort of thing. I thought Morse was going to win, you know.
He'd be filthy with Gold Trip.
Oh, Phil, yeah. What can you do with that when the scanner and all that, you know?
And now the scanner's broken.
But did you see?
Couldn't have broke
on the opposite side, Danny O'Brien said that
They found a couple.
Young Werther had X-rays, didn't pick up. The scanner picked up the hot spot. So, you know, you can see why they're doing it.
Okay, this next one is Mr. Brightside, race 8, number 14, 5,000 at 420. This could be the Assaulters bet. We've already spoken about this horse's chances in the race up to its ears. And then Rosehill, race 7, number 9, Ellsberg, 2,000 at $11. There's the mug there.
The second wave sort of there, wasn't it? 17 in, then they've gone again at 11. So
that might be the best ticket of a lot of those bets. He's probably going to start, like he's $7 now. He might even start shorter with a pattern.
Yeah, that's right. Pattern will be interesting, won't it?
So that looks like could be a good bet come race day.
I'd be probably taking the Mr. Brightside ticket if I had to have a pick of all of them. But I can see the angles for all bets. Probably not a bad set. And yeah, last week, $1,000 at $11 Jonker, which I think it started about $6.50 or got absolutely hammered late.
Smashed.
It was just a perfect setup. And a horse that Nico found the start before, so hopefully you guys have followed up. You can often find winners, and Mr. Brightside's been one of those horses. If you followed it off DK set, you'd be licking your lips because that horse has got plenty of class. All right, that's a bit of a wrap for us. We'll probably get Tristan in on Sunday to help us with the Melbourne Cup show. We'll do a Melbourne Cup runner-by-runner preview on Sunday. DK's rolling his eyes. He's a scoot. You get me out of bed on a Sunday, you bugger.
Well, we've got Mortlake on, mate. I've got to get home for Mortlake. And Mortlake Cup Day, isn't it? And Witchy Proof Saturday, Mortlake Sunday. What a weekend! Don't worry
You'll
about
be
that.
prepped.
Don't worry about Flemington and all these other joints.
So yeah, we'll try and find a couple of other good bets for Tuesday's Melbourne Cup show. We might even try and find our best winner out wide. But
that's why you got to get DK out wide. All these blokes are tipping like me, tipping at Flemington. Probably hardest meeting of the year. DK is just trying to find a morals for us out wide.
Mate, the $3
double up, triple up.
Pay the same. $3 at Swan Hill's the same as $3 at Flemington. They pay the same, but as you said, that's your wheelhouse, my wheelhouse. But stick in your lane, as I say.
Next Thursday, we might try a live show for Oaks, so we can cover Oaks Day and Stakes Day. So we might have to flick the cameras on live from 8:30 in the morning on Oaks Day. So if you're having a sickie, make sure you jump on our YouTube channel and you can fire in some questions. And if you like a runner on that meeting or on a different race, we'll try and get everyone's opinion across that. So we'll make that a bit of an interactive show next Thursday. Make sure to check out Third and Long for NFL and our new NBA show that's live at 9 o'clock. It's a little snapshot on the last shot, it's called, for NBA. So if you like to dabble on an NBA game while you're sitting there doing work or working from home, make sure you check out Nick Medalino's show. You get some great guests and they know what they're talking about with the hoops. But huge week of racing. We are absolutely horned up. Can't wait to bet, sink our teeth into punting form. I'm going to lock myself away tomorrow. I'll brush the missus and the kids, and I'll be looking at the puntingform.com.au database, and I'll be trying to jam the Melahans at topsport.com.au as well. DK, good luck on the weekend.
Thanks, Gertie. Yeah.
And Nico, let's pray racing.com get the yard right.
We'll be right. Find a few winners and we'll be back.
We'll see you Sunday for our Cup Day preview. Thanks, guys.